subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the surah concludes by some of the most strict, some of the most blunt, some of the most powerful verses regarding the false claim, the blasphemous claim that Allah Azza wa Jal might possibly have children. These verses negate that claim. And I need to preface this by stating that one of the sad realities of our modern world is that we have been conditioned now to no longer have a strong sense of what it means to have faith or iman in Allah and in the oneness of Allah. A lot of us, we don't have that sense of honor, or in Arabic the term is ghiyara, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are taught a version of live and let live to the extent of don't worry about anything. And it is true, we live and let live in the sense nobody can force anyone to do anything. But still, we live and let live, sure. But in our hearts, we know what is the truth. And in our hearts, we find it an element of offensiveness, an element of how can you possibly say this? Let me give you a simple example that will illustrate this point. That imagine, given, for example, the current crises right now, everybody is respecting doctors. Everybody is looking up at the people, and they deserve a lot of our respect for what they're doing here. Imagine a doctor that has saved so many lives, that is working effortlessly, a renowned, illustrious doctor who's really doing so much to help the community. And somebody then comes and insults this doctor. Somebody says really nasty things, or maybe even more than this. How would we feel? Even if how would we feel? We would feel a sense of like pious rage, like how dare you do that? Why would you do that to this doctor we all admire? So وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, to Allah belongs the infinitely more perfect example. How should we feel when others describe Allah in blasphemous manners? We should feel a sense of pious, like why would you say that? How could you say that? Even if they have the right, it doesn't make it right in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They might have the political right, even in an Islamic land. A Christian and a Jew is allowed to have those beliefs, but that doesn't mean our hearts should be allowed to find those beliefs comfortable. They are not correct, because Allah is too majestic, too holy to have this description. And so Allah tells us this description, and let me read these verses for you. In fact, verse 88 onwards, وَقَالُوا اتَّخَذَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَلَدًا, they say Ar-Rahman has taken a son, a child. You have brought forth a monstrosity. You have brought forth something that is blasphemous. The heavens themselves are going to split up. The earth is going to rupture. The mountains are going to crumble if they hear this statement, when they attribute to the most merciful that they have a son. وَمَا يَنْبَغِي لِلرَّحْمَنِ أَنْ يَتَّخِذَ وَلَدًا. The mountains are going to crumble. The earth is going to shatter. Every object of the creation is screaming. Yet we here in this world are flesh and blood. We don't seem to mind this. No, it is not befitting for the Ar-Rahman to have a son. Every single creation in the heavens and earth, it comes to Allah as a created servant, not as a son. It is not befitting that Allah has a son. لَقَدْ أَحْصَاهُمْ وَعَدَّهُمْ عَدًّا. He has enumerated them one by one. He knows each and every entity, and each one of them will come alone to answer for himself on the day of judgment. And indeed, verse 96, those who believe and do righteous deeds, Ar-Rahman shall write for them love. That's a beautiful verse. You want to be loved, right? You want Allah to love you. You want the angels to love you. You want mankind to love you. How do you get the love from Allah and even from the creation of Allah? Those who believe and do good deeds, Allah shall write acceptance and love for them. And verse 98, how many generations have we destroyed before them? O Quraysh, how many generations? Can you even feel any of them? Or even can you hear a whisper from them? They're all gone. So how do you know, O Quraysh, Allah will not do the same unto you? So this is Surah Maryam, beautiful surah. We now quickly do Surah